Welcome back to the Car Edition YouTube channel, and welcome back to how a Fiesta ST should be, none of that 1 litre EcoBoost. Today we have this 1.6 Fiesta ST, it's in for a timing belt. We're going to take you through the steps and show you how it's done. I wasn't even tight. This Fiesta's on 82,000 miles, it's 65 plate, so it's 10 years old. Perfect time to be doing your normal timing belt on one of these. Make sure this cap comes off because Fords love destroying a header tank cap. But I'm pretty sure this is a new one, so I think it's had one of them before. Gives us plenty of access. Something like that. Just before we go up, I just want to crack these water pump pulley bolts off while I've still got the fan belt on it. There we go, that's them cracked. Good to go, take the fan belt off. It's got a polybush lower gearbox mount, which is nice. A little bit of extra support. Looked after this car, it's quite nice. That's that unhooked. You can't get that out without taking the tension off, but that's not a problem because we're going to take that off in a minute. So now we just want to set the timing up. So what we've got to do is we've got to remove this drive shaft because Ford, although this is a good ST, their ideas still didn't get any better. You might not be able to see the plug, but it's just behind this drive shaft bracket here, just up in here. So we've got to get rid of this drive shaft and bracket to be able to get that out. When does that ever happen? Never. Wonder if the ball joints can come straight out. F*** off. Not in a million years. Hey, if you know what pleasure I just experienced. What a bastard. Now we just need to get this bracket off, and we can see our bung. God, they don't like making our life easy, do they? You can see our little bung that we need to time it up, just there. Tension off, get timing covers off. TDC cylinder number 1. Time it up. So now we'll get this spark plug out. Fairly new. Now we just got to support the engine mount, covers, blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. Bosh. Tray, axle stand, block of wood, about there somewhere. Where else would you bolt an alternator to other than the timing bracket? So let's get that off. Unplugged. And we've just got to unbolt it. We've got to disconnect the battery because we've got to disconnect the alternator, and the last thing you want to do is give yourself a little shock. Then we've got to take that stud out. One stud out. And then the alternator will just come out of this gap here. Just lift this up so that can come out of the way a little bit more. Now we are pretty much ready. Time it up, crank pulley, timing covers. We'll see the belt. So you can see that extension going up and down. Now we know when we're coming up to TDC on number 1. We'll leave it there. And then we'll take the covers off, get it all timed up, and then we'll know exactly where we are. Put that over there. It should just lift up and out. But it really doesn't want to. It wants to get caught on this stud here. If I take this stud out, so I can get a timing cover off it, don't want to come past it. Fuck off. We just want to turn it over. These pins want to be at the top. And when we're coming round to it, put our crank pin in. It hits the stop. And then the camshaft pulley will go on. So we've got a pin in the crank at the bottom. We've now got a camshaft locking tools here, and that's it timed up. Belt off. It's not a wet belt, so we're not going to see any huge cracks, but it is slowly wearing out. See it here, same sort of thing. That's why you've got to change them at your replacement intervals. Let's get the tensioner off, water pump off. Tell you what, that was pretty good aim with the tray, wasn't it? I'm not missing a single bit of that. Water pump, one of them. Let's get the new kit, clean up the surfaces. The surface is cleaned up now. All we've got to do is put the water pump back on, clean up some of the antifreeze, put the belt on, all back together. We're using an INA kit on this one. Again, really good quality. Gasket on. The water pump is on. Let's just clean some of this mess off. I genuinely can't believe that. Can I mention it? As we're just doing this, I don't know if you've seen our Ingenium timing chain advert. And I said something about it being looser than your nan's fart box. Well, we've had somebody ring up and complain. I'm vulgar, it's disgusting. Do we find it funny? It was funny. And welcome to a garage. Welcome to real life. Everybody swears. I'm on film, okay? Just relax. It is what it is. I get angry at cars. Knob. So here we have this beautiful looking timing belt. Brand new. This is a family friendly channel. So that's the belt on. It's nice and loose down the bottom here. Nice and taut up the top. It's a free floating crank pulley. So all we need to do is pull the pin. Then we're nice and tensioned. Make sure that the crank is up against the stop, and then we'll put our pulley on, which is also timed. I will show you that. First things first, we need to find the right new crank bolt because it comes with about 1 million. This is the one. Then on these STs, you can see here the reluctor ring for the crank pickup. Now this is actually timed up as well. You need this little tool that just slots in the back there. And then bolts onto the block. I'll show you that now. Just like that. New bolt goes in. Perfect. So now we just do that up. We'll pull the top camshaft pulley tool off. Take the pin out the bottom. Something like that. Pull the pin out. And then we just turn it over 4 times. Do a full suck, squeeze, bang, blow. Then we'll check the timing again. We're coming back round to our timer now, so put the pin back in the back. That just went on there nice and lovely. And we'll just make sure that our crank pulley is timed up. Now we can just go timing cover, put the rest of it back together. Engine mount, then timing cover. Get the alternator in the gap. Where'd I put it? Which goes in there. Just putting the idler pulley back on. We'll raise the vehicle up, go underneath, put the drive shaft back in, fill up the gearbox oil. We'll just take the timing pin out, put that back in the kit, we don't want to leave that in. Clean the old oil off where it fell out of the gearbox. On these Fords, it's a really simple system. It's just a drain and fill, and the fill is a level bunk. I should just be able to put that in there. So I'll just let that come to a steady drip. And there we are. A little bit of clean up on R5. Like Bonnie Blue, gonna give everybody some tips on these Fiestas. There's a little bleed valve in the top of the radiator here. So the final step, dun dun dun, is just connect the battery and start it up. Well, I've done something right. Let's turn the heating up, aircon off. Put the engine cover back on. We've got heat coming in the cab. We're going to put the cap on, let it run until the fan cuts in and then cuts out, and then we know we're good to go. Now just a road test, recheck, give it back to the customer.